All right, welcome back to another exciting episode of Minetest Gameplay of Sorts. Yeah, we're going to be looking at the Paintings, Pictures, and Animations mod. So let's go. And if you like what you see here, please consider liking and subscribing. It is greatly appreciated. Yes, it is. And real quickly, we're going to start out. This mod, Paintings, Pictures, and Animations. I don't know how this is supposed to be. Gemaldi. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's a mod made by a person, Casimir. And the mod came out in 2013. Now, it looks like it hasn't been updated in 4 and 5 years. However, the mod still runs. I am running the mod under a developmental version of 0.5.0, but it runs still, and it's good. So what this mod features is the ability to add paintings to it, and then right-clicking on paintings to change the paintings. Now there's crafting and everything else, but I play in creative. Yes. And it only uses PNG files, and you could add your own painting. So I will show how to do that. So what you do, and all these links to the GitHub page and to the forum post will be in the video description as always. So when you download the mod, it comes over. It's called Gemaldi TAC if you're in the military, or dash master zip. You unzip it. Unzip. There we go. I'm on a Mac, so it's easier. We just do that. And then you rename that file. And I already renamed it. But you take out that TAC master, or else it won't work. Then you go into your mods directory, wherever that may be. On Windows, I don't know. It's usually in 2 different places. It can be in the users directory or program files. I don't know. I don't have a Windows partition running at the moment, but on Mac, it is in the applications support library and under mods for Minetest, and you just drop it in. And where is it? There it is, right there. And then the textures. So you can see all the textures are named Gemaldi _ and then a number 1 through, and I added my own in here. As you can see, I will show you how that works. And then here's animated figures. So that's how that works. If we go into the code, I changed under the still.lua, I changed the visual scale to 2.0, and I'll show you why I did that in a second. But this is the code, which I'm going to be looking at modifying. One of the main things about doing a review of this type of mod is for inspiration, to see how a person did what they did. And here's the functions on right click, and it'll change, it'll go through the numbers of the photos. So I want to create, or I want to modify this mod or create it to do exactly what I want to do. Like here's a picture that I added. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Yeah. Okay. So in my world, and this is a test world, a nice, beautiful day. There you have a running man. Very cool. So here it is. These are the animated figures. I'm recording this video twice. So the main thing about this mod is it allows you to put paintings up on the walls. Now, home decor has great paintings. I don't like the frames, but I do like the paintings. And you can change it if you want. If you don't like it, it's open source. You can change it. So there. But you right click on it, and it'll cycle through all the paintings. And there's some that I added. So I'm not those are kind of pixelated, but they work. These are the original ones. I don't know why that's there, but I do like this one. So this is where the inspiration comes in. So this is a really cool graphic, a picture. And so there are these leaves and this awesome with the sunglasses. So what a person can do. Now, all the pictures have to be square when you put them in that folder. So basically this is a 96 pixel by 96 pixel image, and you can tell that there is transparency being used. Thus, it has to be a PNG file. Now, any good photo editor or graphics program like GIMP, Photoshop, anything that you can use, Krita, will save a photo in a PNG format. And you could even take a JPEG and export it to a PNG format. So basic knowledge of photo apps or graphics applications. And there's usually a convert command when you want to export it. You can export it into any format that you want. This mod only uses PNG because there's transparencies being used. So with some creative editing, obviously this is not a square picture as in some of these other ones, but they're just using transparency to fill up the area behind it. So that's how that works. You can put them on the floor and on the ceiling. However, if you do that, they will always face the one direction. So no matter which way you're doing it, I'm sure by using a face DIR, I'm sure there's another, you can change that. But if you want to do, like, you go through a park and you see people doing chalk on a sidewalk, there you go. I wonder if the animation one, yeah, look at that. We have an animated running dude. Let's say you want to create, like in the Streets mod, you want to create animated arrows. There you go. And if you take the blocks away from the back of it, you can see through it. Now you can create some really cool kind of visual advertising. Let's say. Now, let's say you're being chased by mobs and you're cornered and you have yeah, you want to get out of a room. You're playing in a multiplayer world or something like that, and you want to get away from other players or other mobs, and you go, wow, I can't get out of here. There's walls up everywhere. You could go through your painting. Look at that. I created a secret room behind the painting. There you have it. Works out perfect. And nobody would know. So I would have to turn these blocks. These are just, because I lowered the scale, I put these half slabs up there so they would, obviously, you could see it. But that's easily fixed. So you could hide. Yes, that works out perfectly. So there you have that. The main use for this, for me, I want to create graffiti for like derelict buildings or underneath my bridge underpasses. You could add some realism by getting some real cool graffiti art. You can create billboards with this. Your imagination is only limited to what you want to do. And I'm waiting for the sun to go down. One of the things that I kind of don't like, but you kind of can't really see. Now, this could create like a poster. So you could do some real custom stuff with some text and create a poster. And you see they're all square, but like I said, using transparency and using some custom photo editing, you could really do some pretty cool things with this. Create some really nice photos in 16:9, in different formats, just by how you create the photo. So on this one, I actually created a border around the picture real quickly just to show it off. So like I saw in the forums, one person had remarked, hey, now we can have museums. Yes, you can. So by creating some custom borders on it, you can give it the impression that it is a painting, because I had created a certification that hung on a wall. And if you look at it, you can see that there's depth to it. because this is an actual object that I used. So you can see it sticks off the wall, where the other one just kind of sits on the wall, which is a little bit unrealistic. In the fact that when you go to a museum or you look at a painting, even frameless paintings, there's going to be some thickness to it. A poster would not, but a painting would. So if you want to get real, really into it, I'm wondering if, so like over here, I created this, I was playing around trying to create like a monster TV, but that looks like a real big frame. So I'm wondering if I could take my object and, you can put a part inside here, and you can lay another graphic inside of this. That's kind of a weird effect. The sun's going down, so it's rippling through here. So I'm one of the ideas that is sort of inspiring me is to take my object and have the wall art behind it, or have the wall art up here, and then I can change the wall art for this painting and have different paintings using the same object frame. So that's one thing that I'm working on. Now, you can see it's getting dark out and there's no lights, but yet everything's lit up. How is he doing that? Well, let's say you have a problem where you can't create any lights. You can't, it's not feasible to put a light. You could put the light in the wall behind it and embed light in the wall, and now you have a lit up area and it looks semi-realistic. And it's the same thing I did with this cube over here, is I put a light behind it. Now I put a glass here because I wasn't thinking, but all you have to have is something right there, and then you could stick your frame. And like I said, I set the scale factor to 2, where it was originally 3. So that meant on these big square paintings that I have, this would actually be 3 by 3. And I'll show that real quick. But there's lights behind here, which will light up the area without having the need to put, or if lights just look kind of off. And you can create art displays, billboards. You can put text on, however you want to do your pictures. That works. So if I go back in here, I've been using Atom over Text Wrangler recently. And if let's say I set this to 3, back to what it actually was, and we're going to exit to the menu, go back in. This is loading real quick because I don't have any other mod loaded. This is on my my play world, and there you have it. So if you have large enough ceilings, that would look okay. And look at this, I created a cube. It's not particularly sitting exactly flush. I just noticed that. Huh. I have to look into that. But that's how that would look. And that would really cover your tracks. I would not put a light behind here because it would show. So, yeah. If you're going to use that for a secret entrance, don't put a light behind there. And if anybody remembers, there in the United States, there used to be, up in the northwest, there used to be a restaurant called Top's Big Boy. And this character, even though it looks like it's wearing like a Fred Flintstone outfit, it was like a fat kind of pudgy boy in a white jumpsuit holding a big hamburger. And it was a restaurant called Top's Big Boy. And it was similar to a Denny's or an IHOP. There. So we have that. Oh, they're overlapping. Let's go back and set that to 2. And you could do whatever you want. And this is a great way to, did I save it? Yes, I did. This is a great way to actually get inspiration or to get into the modding aspect or look at the code and change things around in the code. One thing that doesn't work that I noticed, now you can see everything's back to a scale of 2. And it will never go. So if you have a picture of way huge, resolution, this is the maximum that picture will go. And if you comment that line out, everything will appear in one node, like a regular picture. So there was a thing that the author of the mod wanted. He couldn't get the reduce to work. And I know that there was a mod out there called OpenAI, and I believe it's Jordan 4 Ibanez. And he had a mod. He has a mod that's OpenAI, and it's all mobs, fishing. It has a whole multitude of like horses, different animals, different character mobs, and some are huge. They're like giants. And one of the tools in the mod is a shrink ray gun. And by just pointing the shrink ray gun at it, it reduced it. So you could actually reduce it all the way down. So I have to take a look at how he did that. So I know it can be done. So it would be really cool that you could have pictures like this, or the maximum 3 if you leave that line in the code, and you could shrink a picture to give the illusion, because these are all the same size. And then by doing some custom work in Photoshop or GIMP or Krita or any of whatever your favorite graphics program is, you could do some pretty creative things. And as you saw in the original stock photos, like that person's just using the transparency with that in the full 96 by 96. Obviously, this graphic is not 96 by 96 of the visible. So that's just different ways of how you can create something with it. So I'm going to be using this. I'm going to be doing some custom graffiti work and stuff like that. Hi there. just going from there. But I think it's a really cool mod, and for inspiration and for you could really let your imagination run wild on what you can do with this mod, and how you can, just by adding depth with borders, you can create some really, really interesting paintings and go from there. So that's going to do it. And if you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. And until the next video, geez, I got to get back to my little dude. There he is. And that's the person's thumbnail too. So it's really cool. I'm glad. I wish the mod was, the mod was kept up to date. But this is an opportunity to get into coding, look at somebody else's code, how they did it, and change things around, and make it your own mod, and do some really custom things with it. So on that note, I'm going to end it here. Thank you for joining me. Until the next video, everybody have a fantastic week, and goodbye.